Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when we must confront a truth that can be uncomfortable if we are too soft with others. If we allow them to walk over us, we're not just letting them down, we are letting ourselves down. You see, being soft is often confused with kindness, but there's a critical difference between the two. Kindness has boundaries, softness doesn't. And when you have no boundaries, people take advantage of you. Boundaries are essential in every aspect of life because they communicate how we expect to be treated. When you establish clear boundaries, you're sending a message about what is and isn't acceptable in your relationships, whether personal or professional. These limits aren't just about keeping others in check, they're also about honoring your own needs and protecting your own well-being. Without boundaries, people may unintentionally or intentionally overstep, causing you stress, frustration, or even resentment. By setting clear expectations, you invite mutual respect into your interactions. People respect those who respect themselves. When you consistently allow others to cross lines without consequence, you show them that you don't value your own time, energy, or priorities. On the other hand, when you're firm about your limits, you teach others that you won't tolerate disrespect. Boundaries force others to recognize that you are serious about protecting your emotional, mental, and physical space. And it's not just about others, it's about you too. Boundaries help you to stay focused, remain balanced, and maintain control over your life. In setting boundaries, you also clarify your priorities. People who constantly give in, who are too available, and who say yes to everything often find themselves overwhelmed and drained. They end up sacrificing their own goals because they're too busy fulfilling the needs of others. By drawing lines, you ensure that you have the space and time needed to pursue your purpose without unnecessary distractions. You protect the things that matter most, and in turn, you teach others to value what you value. Ultimately, boundaries are not barriers, they are guidelines for healthy interactions. When people know where they stand with you, they are more likely to respect your time and your space. They understand that your kindness has limits, and that makes them more likely to value and appreciate it. You cannot expect respect from others if you don't first demand it from yourself by creating and enforcing boundaries. Not everyone in your life is meant to have full access to you, your time, your energy, or your emotions. We often believe that being open and available to everyone is a sign of kindness or generosity, but in reality, this can lead to exhaustion and frustration. When you give unlimited access to everyone, you dilute your focus and your energy. The truth is, some people are not meant to be in your inner circle. They may not have your best interests at heart, or they may drain more from you than they contribute. It's important to recognize that your time and energy are limited resources. You only have so much to give each day, and if you give it away freely to everyone, you'll find that there's little left for the things that matter most. Whether it's your goals, your purpose, or your well-being, these are the areas that deserve your attention, not the demands of everyone around you. Being selective with who has access to you isn't about being selfish, it's about being wise. It's understanding that not everyone can handle the privilege of being close to you. Some people will take advantage of your openness. They'll see your availability as a sign that they can come to you for anything at any time without regard for your own needs or boundaries. This is where discernment becomes essential. You must be able to evaluate who is adding value to your life and who is simply taking from it. When you give access to people who don't appreciate it, you end up drained, and that impacts your ability to be your best self in other areas of life. By limiting who has access to you, you're able to protect your energy for the people and projects that truly matter. It allows you to focus on your purpose, to invest deeply in the relationships that nurture you, and to give your best self to the areas of life that align with your values and goals. Not everyone deserves to be part of that journey, and it's okay to say no to those who don't belong in your inner circle. Compassion is often mistaken for weakness, but true compassion requires incredible strength. It takes inner resilience to care for others, to empathize with their struggles, and to extend kindness, especially when it's not easy. The strongest individuals are those who can be compassionate without losing themselves in the process. It's about striking a balance between caring for others and standing firm in who you are. Compassion does not mean sacrificing your principles, your values, or your well-being for the sake of others. It means caring deeply while maintaining a sense of self-respect and strength. Showing compassion often means putting yourself in someone else's shoes, understanding their challenges, and offering support. But it also requires strength to know when to draw a line. True compassion isn't about enabling harmful behaviors or allowing yourself to be taken advantage of. It's about providing help while ensuring that you don't lose your own footing. Compassion is powerful because it fosters connection and understanding, yet it requires a strong foundation of self-awareness and self-respect to offer it authentically and effectively. Strength in compassion is about being able to say, I understand what you're going through, and I'm here for you, while also knowing when to step back if someone's actions are harmful to you. It's knowing that you can help others without sacrificing your own well-being or letting your boundaries be crossed. This balance is crucial because without it, compassion can become a tool for others to exploit your kindness. To be compassionate is to be strong enough to give, but also strong enough to protect yourself in the process. Compassion is one of the highest forms of strength because it requires you to be vulnerable. It takes courage to open yourself up to the pain of others, to connect with their emotions, and to offer support in times of need. But it also takes strength to know when your compassion is being misused and to stand firm in the face of that. True strength lies in the ability to remain kind and empathetic, even when it would be easier to harden yourself or turn away. This balance of strength and compassion allows you to help others without losing sight of who you are or what you stand for. Your purpose is one of the most valuable things you possess. It gives your life meaning, direction, and fulfillment. But just like anything valuable, it must be protected. Too often, people allow distractions, other people's demands, or their own fears to interfere with their purpose. They let external influences pull them away from what they were truly meant to do, and in doing so, they compromise their potential. Protecting your purpose means guarding it fiercely against anything that threatens to derail you from the path you're meant to walk. When you know your purpose, it becomes your guiding light. But that light can be dimmed if you allow yourself to be consumed by things that don't align with your goals. It's easy to get sidetracked by immediate concerns, short-term gains, or the opinions of others. But your purpose is a long-term investment in your life's journey, and you must treat it as such. It requires focus, determination, and the ability to say no to things that don't serve your higher calling. Protecting your purpose means recognizing when something is pulling you off track and having the strength to refocus on what truly matters. Every time you make a decision, whether it's about how you spend your time, who you allow into your life, or which opportunities to pursue, you're either moving closer to your purpose or drifting away from it. Being intentional about your choices is one way to protect your purpose. If you're not careful, the demands of everyday life work, relationships, and social pressures can distract you from what you were meant to achieve. But when you guard your purpose, you prioritize it above all else. You don't allow the noise of the world to drown out your inner voice. Protecting your purpose also means setting boundaries with people who may not understand or support your vision. Not everyone will see the value in what you're trying to achieve, and that's okay. You don't need their approval. What you do need is to remain committed to your path, even when others doubt or criticize it. Protecting your purpose means not allowing negativity, doubt, or outside pressure to sway you from what you know is right for your life. It's about staying true to your goals and dreams regardless of what anyone else thinks. Ultimately, protecting your purpose requires a deep sense of self-awareness and discipline. It's knowing who you are, what you're here to do, and being unwavering in your pursuit of that calling. When you protect your purpose, you ensure that you are living a life of meaning and fulfillment, not one dictated by the expectations or demands of others. Your purpose is yours alone, and only you can safeguard it from being compromised or diluted. It's your responsibility to nurture it, defend it, and keep it at the center of everything you do. Over accommodating others often stems from a desire to be liked, to avoid conflict, or to make sure everyone is happy. However, constantly putting others' needs ahead of your own can leave you feeling drained, overlooked, and unappreciated. When you make it a habit to over-accommodate, you lose sight of your own needs and priorities. It's easy to fall into the trap of always saying yes, even when it's at the expense of your own well-being, time, or energy. The problem with this is that over time, you're not only neglecting yourself, but you're also teaching others to expect that you'll always be available, no matter the cost to you. When you over-accommodate, you diminish your own value. People start to assume that you'll always adjust, that you'll always be the one to compromise, and that your needs are less important than theirs. You may think you're being kind or helpful, but what you're actually doing is setting a pattern where others may unintentionally take advantage of you. This doesn't foster healthy relationships, it breeds imbalance. Relationships built on over-accommodation often become one-sided, where you give and give, but rarely receive the same level of care or consideration in return. It's important to recognize that being too accommodating can weaken your boundaries. Without clear boundaries, it becomes difficult to stand up for yourself or to assert your own needs and desires. You may begin to feel resentment, not just toward others, but also toward yourself for always giving in. Over time, this can lead to burnout, frustration, and a sense of losing control over your own life. Saying no is not selfish, it's necessary. It allows you to maintain balance and protect your time, energy, and mental health. When you stop over-accommodating, you start to reclaim your personal power. You realize that it's okay to prioritize yourself, to make decisions based on your own needs and goals rather than constantly adjusting to fit everyone else's. By setting boundaries, you show others that your time and energy are valuable, and you teach them to respect your limits. It doesn't mean you stop being kind or helpful. It means you help from a place of balance, where your needs are met first, ensuring that you can give without depleting yourself. Stopping the habit of over-accommodating also opens the door to healthier, more reciprocal relationships. When you prioritize your own well-being, you attract people who respect your boundaries and who are willing to give as much as they receive. You create an environment where mutual respect and support can thrive, rather than one where you're always the one giving up your time, energy, or peace for the sake of others. It's about finding a healthy balance between being there for others and being there for yourself. Respect is something we all desire from others, but it starts within ourselves. Before you can expect others to respect you, you must first respect yourself. This means understanding your own value and setting clear standards for how you want to be treated. When you respect yourself, you make choices that reflect your worth. You don't settle for less than you deserve, and you don't allow others to disregard your boundaries or undermine your principles. Self-respect is the foundation upon which external respect is built. The way you carry yourself and the boundaries you set are powerful signals to others. If you tolerate disrespect, people will believe it's acceptable to treat you that way. But when you demand respect through your actions, words, and the way you live your life, you teach people that you won't settle for anything less. Respect is not something that can be given if you don't first demand it from yourself. If you constantly put yourself down, allow others to walk all over you, or fail to stand up for what you believe in, you can't expect others to treat you with the dignity and consideration you deserve. Respecting yourself also means valuing your time, your energy, and your peace of mind. When you're constantly saying yes to everyone, spreading yourself too thin, or allowing toxic behavior into your life, you're signaling that your well-being is secondary. But when you prioritize your own needs and protect your space, others take notice. You show them that your time and energy are valuable, and they begin to respect those boundaries. It's not about being selfish. It's about ensuring that you are treated in a way that honors your worth. Self-respect is reflected in the standards you set for your life. It influences the relationships you cultivate, the career choices you make, and the way you handle challenges. When you respect yourself, you naturally gravitate toward environments and people who uplift and empower you rather than those who tear you down. You make decisions that align with your values, and you hold yourself to a standard that reflects your highest potential. This internal respect radiates outward, and others begin to see you as someone who commands and deserves respect. Moreover, respecting yourself means taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental health. It's about knowing when to step back, when to rest, and when to say no without guilt. When you prioritize self-care, You're sending a message to yourself and to others that you value who you are. Respecting yourself means you won't allow anyone, including yourself, to diminish your self-worth. You become your own advocate, protecting your peace and ensuring that the people in your life contribute positively to your growth and well-being. Ultimately, respect begins with the standards you set for yourself and the boundaries you enforce. When you respect yourself, others follow suit. They learn to treat you with the same level of respect that you demand from yourself. You cannot control how others behave, but by respecting yourself, you can influence how they treat you. Self-respect is the key to living a life where you are valued, where your voice is heard, and where you are treated with the dignity you deserve. Balancing servitude and assertiveness is essential for maintaining healthy relationships and a fulfilling life. Servitude, or the willingness to serve others, is a valuable quality. It reflects kindness, humility, and a sense of responsibility toward others. Being of service, whether to family, friends, or the community, allows you to contribute positively to the world around you. It nurtures compassion and helps build strong, meaningful connections. However, servitude without assertiveness can lead to burnout, resentment, and an imbalance in relationships where your needs and desires are often overlooked. Assertiveness, on the other hand, is about standing up for yourself, expressing your needs, and setting boundaries. It ensures that while you are willing to help others, you do not lose sight of your own well-being. Being assertive doesn't mean being aggressive. It's about communicating clearly and confidently about what you want and need, while still respecting the needs of others. Balancing servitude with assertiveness means finding the sweet spot where you can contribute to others without compromising your own sense of self or being taken advantage of. When you find this balance, you're able to give generously, but with limits. You learn when to say no and when to step back to take care of yourself. This is crucial because without assertiveness, you risk becoming overburdened by the expectations of others. People may begin to expect you to always say yes, always be available, and always prioritize their needs over your own. In the long run, this can lead to feelings of frustration, exhaustion, and a sense that your own needs are being neglected. Assertiveness ensures that while you serve others, you also protect your time, energy, and emotional health. Balancing servitude and assertiveness is also about understanding your own value. When you know your worth, you realize that your needs are just as important as those of others. Serving others doesn't mean sacrificing yourself or always putting others first at the expense of your own happiness. It means offering your help from a place of strength and self-awareness where you can give freely, but also know when to take a step back. Assertiveness allows you to maintain your integrity and ensure that the kindness you offer doesn't come at the cost of your own well-being. In relationships, this balance is critical. If you are always serving without asserting your own needs, the relationship can become one-sided, leaving you feeling unappreciated or taken for granted. But when you combine servitude with assertiveness, you foster mutual respect. You create an environment where giving is appreciated but not expected at the cost of your personal boundaries. It teaches others that while you are generous, you also respect yourself enough to communicate when something isn't right for you. This balance strengthens relationships and creates a healthier dynamic where both parties feel valued. Moreover, balancing servitude with assertiveness builds your inner confidence. It shows that you can be kind without being weak, generous without being exploited, and caring without being self-sacrificing. It empowers you to give from a place of fullness rather than emptiness, ensuring that your acts of service are genuine and not driven by guilt, obligation, or fear of rejection. Assertiveness provides the structure needed to protect your well-being, allowing you to serve in a way that is sustainable and rewarding. Reclaiming your power is about taking back control of your life, your decisions, and your sense of self. It means recognizing that you have the ability to shape your own path, regardless of external circumstances or the opinions of others. Too often, people give away their power by allowing external forces, whether it's other people's expectations, societal norms, or past experiences, to dictate their choices and behavior. Reclaiming your power starts with the realization that you are in charge of your destiny and that no one else has the right to determine what you can or cannot do. The first step in reclaiming your power is acknowledging where you may have lost it. This could be in relationships where you've allowed someone else to have too much control, in a job where you're not living up to your potential, or in situations where you've been passive instead of taking action. Identifying these areas helps you understand where your power has been compromised and gives you a starting point for reclaiming it. It's about taking responsibility for your life and recognizing that while you can't control everything, you do have control over your responses and decisions. Once you identify where you've given up your power, the next step is to start setting boundaries. Boundaries are essential because they define what you will and will not tolerate in your life. When you don't set clear boundaries, you allow others to infringe on your personal space, time, and emotional well-being. Reclaiming your power means standing firm in your boundaries and not allowing anyone to overstep them. This requires assertiveness and the confidence to say no when something doesn't align with your values or goals. Setting boundaries is a powerful act of self-respect, and it signals to others that you are in control of your own life. Reclaiming your power also means silencing the inner critic that often undermines your confidence. We all have that voice inside our heads that tells us we're not good enough, that we can't achieve our goals, or that we're destined to fail. But this voice is not the truth. It's a reflection of past fears, doubts, and insecurities. To reclaim your power, you must confront these negative thoughts and replace them with affirmations of your strength, capability, and worth. It's about rewiring your mindset to believe in your own potential and recognizing that you have the power to achieve whatever you set your mind to. Another key aspect of reclaiming your power is taking ownership of your decisions. Every choice you make either moves you closer to or further away from your goals. When you make decisions based on what others want or expect from you, you're giving away your power. But when you make choices based on your own values, desires, and vision for your life, you are reclaiming your authority over your own destiny. It's about trusting yourself and having the courage to make decisions that reflect your true self, even if they go against the grain or challenge the status quo. Reclaiming your power also involves letting go of the past. Too often, people hold on to past mistakes, failures, or disappointments, allowing them to define their present and future. But holding on to the past only serves to keep you stuck. To reclaim your power, you must release the weight of past regrets and focus on the opportunities that lie ahead. It's about forgiving yourself for past missteps and using those experiences as lessons to guide you forward rather than chains that hold you back. Taking control of your life also means being proactive instead of reactive. When you're reactive, you allow external events or other people's actions to dictate how you feel and what you do. But when you're proactive, you take charge of your own actions, regardless of what's happening around you. This shift from reacting to acting puts the power back in your hands. It means you're no longer waiting for life to happen to you. You're making life happen on your terms. Ultimately, reclaiming your power is about believing in your own agency. It's about understanding that you have the strength, wisdom, and resilience to navigate whatever comes your way. It's the realization that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but the architect of your own future. When you reclaim your power, you take full responsibility for your life, and in doing so, you open the door to a life of purpose, fulfillment, and true freedom. In closing, remember that being kind and compassionate doesn't mean you have to be soft. You have the right to stand firm in your values and assert your boundaries. Softness can lead to complacency and resentment, while strength fosters respect and genuine connections. Embrace the power of assertiveness, knowing that it's not about diminishing others, but elevating yourself. As you navigate through your relationships and encounters, keep in mind that it's okay to say no and to prioritize your well-being. You have a unique purpose, and protecting that purpose requires you to be both compassionate and assertive. When you stop being soft to everyone, you reclaim your power, demand respect, and foster healthier relationships. So step forward with confidence, communicate your needs clearly, and remember that true strength lies in knowing when to be kind and when to stand your ground. The world needs your voice and your strength. Use them wisely.